All right. Hello and welcome. Happy Wednesday, guys. It's July 15th. We're halfway through the year. We're actually a little bit over. Let's see who's all in the chat today. Just going to keep this a real relaxed chat. I was very excited last week. Now I think this week it's more of just a reflection, stay calm, let's relax and paint and, recenter, if you will. So, Samuel, welcome. Appreciate you being here, of course, and hopefully you're doing okay in Florida. Conan, welcome. Hey there, Brian. How are you doing? Paul, thank you, as always, for being my moderator. Shale, good to see you. Todd, welcome to the chat. Achilles Rain, welcome. Nothing super exciting, just working some more on my Catachan. So I've got Vasquez here, so I kind of started working on her, or obviously I worked on her a while back and I need to continue. So I'm going to do that, and then I've got a few other Catachan here, and just sort of see how you guys are doing. Make sure we're all staying sane here. The weather's been very super strange. In the desert, when it rains, though, it's actually really beautiful. It actually smells really, really nice. So I have my window open and I'm enjoying that, even though it's still about 250 degrees Celsius outside, approximately. So it is what it is. Oh man, where was I with this? I don't even know if I have all my colors here. There we go. Yeah, Castellan green. That's my Catachan colors right this way. Viper Taha, welcome. This is the way. Nope, not same. Wow. And a bunch of Mandalorian jokes, but I get those now because I saw that show. I had to go to somebody's house pre-lockdown so that I could see it on someone else's Disney Plus account because I'm not buying another subscription. I'm not doing it. And yeah, just not doing it. So, fun fact, I don't know if any of you guys saw my Instagram, but I finally finished my Warhorse. Oh, I should grab it actually. My Grimkin Warhorse on Sunday. I spent 3 hours finishing up just the details on it. It is an insane model. I'll show you. And even tonight, I got a few more details in on it. So, way to brag about your sense of smell. I'm sorry, Brian. I'll just describe it to you so that you too can appreciate it. Anyway, my Warhorse here, finally pretty much done. That gray ended up working the way I wanted, which is funny. It was like this really light, almost bluish granite gray. But when I got the, which one was it? The Agrax Earthshade over it, and then dry brushed it up with some bleached sand. It really, you see a lot of detail in that hair. I was super happy with how that came out. And then, of course, a bunch of dirty goblins. Some goblin butt for you. But yeah, I was very happy with that. So, Warhorse is complete. I do need to get the arc marks on there because this is War Machine, hordes we're talking about here. Gotta have that, but I love it. I'm so happy with it. Still working on my Ellower from 6 months ago. Progress is progress. Today in the North England, humidity seemed to be 300%. Ugh. How's it going in New Mexico? We're hanging in there. We're in the hot side of the season, so, normally 100-ish degrees, which, what was it, Paul? It's like 38, 39 degrees Celsius generally here in the summer. Now, normally it's pretty dry, but it hasn't been lately. It's been more muggy, so kind of gross, but I'll take summer over winter any day, so whatever. So yeah, anyway, I was just going to take the time to show this off to you because you guys saw it in the much more basic model, much more basic status because it took forever just to get a lot of the base coats on. But you spend so much time carving out all those little details. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it took so long. So, just wanted to share progress from last week. I'm Batman. Welcome, Adeptus Ridiculous. Appreciate you being here. Still all TV and movies shut down. I heard about that. So I guess that's going to be... And I thought there was going to be another announcement today, but there wasn't. So whatever. I'm not really interested in focusing on all of that. This is more of a what else can we think about kind of chat, I think. And as it is, what are you guys working on tonight? Are you working on any personal projects? Are you doing a painting project? Are you doing another kind of project? Brian, are you making some amazing and awesome props of some sort? I don't know, maybe. Yeah, 39 degrees Celsius. There you go. Thank you, Adeptus Ridiculous. Appreciate it. With models and paints packed, I'm doing some design work for a shield to add to my Mando armor. I don't want to think about how much Sintra I'm going to need. Well, I mean, just imagine how awesome it'll be when it's done, right? That's what you're supposed to think about, I think. Governor really shuts down dreams on Thursdays. I guess I'll wait till tomorrow then. We'll see, we'll see. We'll get back to it eventually, Brian. There are some other stuff happening at least that, you know, can all be done from the comfort of my lonely home. Well, it's not that lonely, but... Oh, crap. But I've barely been home, so it is what it is. Had to clean her shirt there. Dropped a little bit of brown paint on it. Why you came. I'm trying not to die. New job leaves me exhausted. Oh man. Sounds exciting. Hope it's something you want to be doing. Hey Thomas, welcome. Conan playing WoW. I've been playing a fair bit of WoW too. Are you playing Classic? Are you playing Classic? Or are you playing Retail? If you're playing Classic, I know what's going on in the world. If you're playing Retail, I literally have no idea what's going on. I was talking to a friend via text today actually about that. Because I'm really debating whether or not to pick up Shadowlands. Because I'm really burned out on WoW and I think Sylvanas is a horrid character. But I'm being assured repeatedly that apparently they're pulling out a lot of the extraneous garbage that bogs down your game when you open it up. So that seemed appealing. We'll see. Out of old palettes. Oh. I'm sorry. What are you needing old palettes for? I'm building Necrons, space robots from space. Are they from space? Weren't they originally from a planet? Was it the silent? I don't know. I don't know enough about the Necron lore, but I guess they're from space if they now space travel, and that's when you, and that's how you discovered them. But I'm growing into this one too. Reason being that I'm not sorry. Whoa. But I'm not just doing Space Wolves, but others too. Oh, yeah, into the new name. I mean, it works. It's a little more original, I guess. So you got that going for you. Ridiculous 2020. Let's see. Sorry for joining late. No worries. YouTube only just gave me the notification. Yeah, YouTube likes to hide that stuff. Hopefully I don't get, randomly shut down either. Did Sorsha's icy base, then Dead Zone Guide, and started Skulltaker's Cloak. And Sorsha is looking lovely. Such a nice crackly blue base. It does look like she's walking on ice, which makes sense for her, but it would make me nervous as that particular model, I think. Man, she's pretty much ready for sepia. I think I'm just gonna dry brush on a little skull work here. Pallets equal free wood. Well, the hardware stores may still have some. Unless everybody's buying those too. Like, everything randomly going out of stock the way it's been. Finishing work on Chuck Dogwood for Riot Quest. I need to try that game at some point. How long did it take you guys to learn Riot Quest? For those of you in the chat who are actually playing Riot Quest, like how long did that take you? Because I have the stuff. Privateer was very nice and they sent it to me and I'm like, thank you. This is a whole different game now. I need to learn. And then I became immediately intimidated and didn't do it. So I have it and, you know, I still see my friend Flo every so often, so maybe she can play it. But I want it to be like super duper easy. Like, I kind of spend too much time learning difficult games. Like, you know, War Machine and to an extent 40k, and then I keep like flirting with the idea of playing like Warhammer Total War, which is basically Civilization, and then Life, you know, all this complicated stuff. Commissioner Gordon. Let's see. Hello, I had to hit that like button on my way in. That's right, Patrick. Thank you for doing that. Please like my video. If you're enjoying yourself and having a good time, you know, hit the like. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt anything. It's nice. It's a nice thing to do. Viking Gamer Dad. Welcome. Curious what brushes do you use? Just getting back into the hobby. Alright. I'll tell you what I use. But I know a lot of folks in the chat have a lot of suggestions of what they use too. But my go-to lately, and they were gifted to me from my friend Jason over at Monument, which I believe, and I have to double check, separated recently from Creature Caster, so it's its own company. But they sell paints and brushes and painting accessories. Paints and painting accessories, yes. And I've been very happy with them. They're, I think, synthetic sable or something like that. Terrible at selling this. Anyway, they've held up really well, and I'm not nice to anything I own, so, so I've been quite pleased. You have like huge old brushes like this that gives you a lot of coverage, then these teeny tiny ones, the 00 that gives you the really fine detail. This is what I paint like eyes with. And I found them to be quite good. Again, they hold up. The big thing you want to worry about, or the big thing that ends up being a concern, is like the end of your brush when it gets that curl. So, but everybody's got their own opinions on it. I just have been quite happy with this. Prior to that, I literally used like 50% off Master's Touch. Yeah, these paint brushes from like Hobby Lobby because I didn't care. So, but they've been great. I've had them for getting close to a year now, actually. Super quick and easy to learn. All right, Thomas. Fine. Let's see. Did you do your hair? Actually, I did. I had somebody else do it. Someone who knows what they're doing do it. And it's actually a little more blue than I intended. But it's kind of fun, so whatever. I'm trying to enjoy, you know, summer with bright hair. Except I'm never outdoors, but whatever. Great looking warhorse miniature. Thank you. I know. It's so lovely. I feel very proud of it. Let's see. Well, 0 because I haven't started yet. I'm doing the Kickstarter. I really want to try it. I've seen posts for Riot Quest Facebook that's 6 years old. Oh, that 6-year-olds are learning it with ease. Ooh, yeah, Patrick, I bet you and Kitty would have a great time with it. From the sound of it, it's very action-y and I guess short because it's basically an arena game, right? Hi, Lurian. Welcome to the chat. Just relaxing and, you know, chilling out and painting whatever. I put all my work into the warhorse and I'm still kind of recovering from that. We're the dark. I am here, so fear until you press the like button. Thank you, Kahneman. Hey, I hope you're doing okay, man. How have you been? I know you had some stuff recently. Out of all that, life is the part that sucks. No, it's just dynamic. Let's see. Installed cabinets to the back room. Ugh, that sounds awful. I mean, congratulations, Brian. I'm really happy for you. Ugh, cabinet hanging. I use Citadel brushes. So this is Jay. So he also, let's see, so he uses Citadel brushes, but most of mine are still red-handled, meaning over 15 years old, because I'm poor, more so now than back then because of buying those brushes. So, but they've held up. And the big thing is, and I think ridiculous, you can probably comment on it, but you know, keeping your brushes clean, getting the proper soap for it, and then there's like a wax that you can use to kind of reshape it, will do a lot to maintain what you have. To be fair, on my little balm wicks, I haven't done anything other than dip them in water every time I'm done, and they've still kept pretty well a point throughout most of the year. So, pretty happy with that. Curls still need a lot of wipes. There you go. I've been using armor painter brushes, primarily the character brush. Alright. Looking very tanned. Enjoying the summer sun. Mid-winter and raining. Oh my goodness. That's right. It's winter over there. Probably tan just because my hair looks so light, but I usually have SPF 50 on like anytime I'm outdoors to try and not burst into flames, because that is basically what my bloodline brings me to. Let's see, I got the email from Privateer today. Workcaster Neo Mechanica should start shipping this week. Ah! That's exciting. Oh, it just lowers. Okay, that's not bad. You're not having to hold up cabinets, find studs, and all that good stuff. Valerian, can you share some of that winter? It's well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit here. Even my Texas blood is starting to boil. I hate cleaning brushes. Would rather buy cheap and toss them. Fair enough. Because I hate the environment, apparently. Apparently. My goodness, Brian. Well, I don't know. Do you use tiny brushes usually, or are you using like big chip brushes because of your profession? I really have no reason not to work on this other than knitting my stupid pewter that I can't find anymore. Dang pewter killer. Missing. Anyway. I can probably just go ahead and start washing. And I've just installing it, I guess, so. TLC your brushes, or TLC your minis. Okay, so, yes, Adept is ridiculous, you're right. I haven't followed any of my advice on that, however. But take care of the stuff you have as much as you can. This is probably the biggest reason I don't airbrush is because, I mean, most of the time whenever I'm done painting, I just sort of wander off. Like, I make sure the brush got wet and cleaned off, and then, like, the paint water ends up sitting for days. And everything else just sits for days. It's not really great about this. What am I doing? I'm not painting Agrax Earthshade. It's gonna be Seraphim Sepia. I need some Catachance sweat on her. Not that much dirt, just some dirt. I do like the Citadel washes. Quite pleased with those. My big brushes are super cheap. My fine ones are Citadel or better. Not that better. I also burst into flames and melt in the sun. Oh yeah, I know, I've told you the temperature here before, and you're not sure that you would survive New Mexico super well. Be fine, maybe, probably, ish. Alright. Get that sweat all over her, because she's working hard, firing this heavy weapon. And I really like the way this Seraphim Sepia brings out the green. Don't need as much in here, so actually what I'll do is lighten it off of that a bit. She's gonna have some sweat on there, but the shirt doesn't have to be that filthy. Let's see. And special shout out to my friend Flo for writing Writing that on the gun, by the way. That was something she did at first with a micron pen, but then she went in with a paintbrush and finished it, so here she is looking like she just freshly killed some filthy Necron. Some Xenos scum. Gosh, after painting the Warhorse, I forgot how fast a wash goes over a mini this tiny. I dig it. There we go. Ta-da! Let's see here. Yeah, I visited California once during a record summer, and it was 100 every day, so I looked so fresh after 2 weeks. I have a confession. I went outside and interstate for 4 out of the last 5 days. That's why southeast New Mexico has been hotter than the sun. Went outside and interstate for 4 out of the last 5 days. Okay, so you brought the heat, is what you're saying. Are you taking the blame for that? On the brush front, I encourage people to try 1 or 2 good sable brushes and some cheap synthetics as well. Fair enough. I finally got a new battle along with a GW battle. Yay! Should be smart and learn airbrushing. Ugh. Yeah, maybe. So I don't know if you were in this in the chat last week, Brian, but I've been looking into like haunted house stuff and how to make haunted house items and looking up haunters on YouTube, and that amount of construction is like, I love it. And that I would buy an airbrush for, just to be able to paint like stonework and bricks, and I have plenty of power tools as it is, so I could add it to that. Freaking airbrush for miniatures though, that is so insanely intimidating, and the amount of cleanup seems so off-putting. So, well, she's got a wash on her, so now she's gonna have to wait a while before I can do anything else. Who else do we have here? Ooh, got Simon Phoenix here. Well, I think I may have, yeah, he's got a wash on him already. Oh, he looks so fabulous. Love him. Oh, you can focus. I know you can. Ah, there you go. Doesn't he look great? What model are you painting? That was a Katachan lady for 40k / Kill Team / 40k 9th edition, I guess, whenever it comes out. I need to snag that rulebook. Have you guys ordered it? In the same way, I have a whole room in the house just for hobbying, and there sit so many half-painted projects and water tubs evaporating as I slowly remember to get back to them. Yeah. I use a pack of brushes I got at Walmart. See? It works. Same here, I got many of my brushes, just work and get some finer ones for eyes and things. Oh, Paul, you're adorable. You don't paint eyes. You have no brushes for eyes, or if you do, you've never tested it. Miranda, they're able to save this. Today was a storm that dropped to 77. Well, that's definitely comfortable. Did anyone else see the 3D render of Cole Stryker Mount Wilson put out? Does anyone think we'll be getting an Iron Kingdoms TV show? What would make you say that? And I didn't see the Coleman Stryker. Was that on Twitter or something? I did see him as an Archon, but I didn't see him as anything else. Storm is a lifesaver. Yeah, it is. How does Strachan look these days? He's over here. Let's see where we're at with him. I mean, yeah, he could use a few details. His grenades and stuff haven't been painted. I need to get the dry brush on that skull. I need to get the metal sword going. I need to finish painting his face. He only has one eye. I mean, obviously he only has one visible eye, but like his mouth isn't done, and you know, all the mechanical stuff. I guess I could work on him. This feels like a lot of work right now. Everything's warm. The problem with airbrushing touch-up. Cleanup is easy, but touch-up on the model is almost impossible to color match. I have an airbrush and I've used it Find the brush more controllable. Ooh. Kill Team Bat Rep when? I don't know yet. When I get people that know how to play the game and are willing to come over. Airbrush is amazing for a few things. Bulk painting, base coats. Yes, my friend did airbrushing on all of his Iosians to get like that kind of milky white color they have, and it worked beautifully. You don't deal with brush strokes at all, and I bet it's probably really good for something like yellow as well. Smooth finish on tanks, color blends, and lazy OSL on plasma rifles. Oh yeah, that sounds like fun. Next project I'll probably do after the teacup display is Ramirez Katana from Highlander. Ooh, very exciting. Summer heat's been around 113 to 115 here all week. Well, I have no complaints then. You're just painting small groups of units, you're probably right. Cleanup doesn't warrant the airbrush. Huh. I bought 9th and an email said I should get 9th. Ugh. You keep that over there. Striker render was put on Facebook. I should. I've been a little dodging on Facebook, to be honest. Like, don't like it there. But for you, I'll look at this. I guess it's put out by Privateer. Load. My phone's also getting old. Freaking out. And reloading. Yay! I'll look at it. Whew. Let's see. Space Marine lenses count as eyes. That's what the brush is for. I know. Miranda, my silent compressor died. I got lucky and got an old school Pash compressor at a pawn shop for 50 bucks instead of the 600 the art supply pointed. Oh my gosh, that's a great deal. It's wonderful. Congratulations. Lenses are great. I need to, yeah, I do. It's summer in the UK and it still rains a lot. Still waiting for Windows 10th edition Warhammer. Just the constant updates. Hey, we got the app and it's finally hit that point, right? Alright, so on Privateer, it's a pinned message. Quarterfinals, we're doing a bunch of Riot Quest stuff. More Riot Quest stuff. Legion CID is live. I don't see what you're talking about. Now we're in a day ago. No, I didn't see. I see nothing. I see this Dunian Menace, this little Pikachu thing. I don't know. I haven't. But I probably will get Striker as the Archon because that is pretty cool looking. I miss summer in the UK. I've never been to the UK. I don't get to know. Just imagine it through the descriptions Harry Potter has provided me. What else do I have? I don't know. Maybe some old British TV shows too. Alright, so I'm getting some more paint on Strachan here since Paul gently reminded me that he's not done. He's got this armband that's pretty closely blended into his arm. Goodness. How tight does he have that tied around him? I think I just used a basic color for his skin, so touching it up shouldn't be too difficult. I shouldn't have to mix anything. So I can be a little sloppier. Not that I want to be. Just ends up happening. Oh, goodness. I just lost a whole vehicle sprue. Go me. Oh my goodness, Jay, you're on a roll, man. I lived there for 4 years. It was an awesome experience. And Jay, you nearly got bit by the sprue, apparently. Goodness. Well, whatever. Are you guys having a good evening? Are you feeling a little bit more relaxed? I don't know. I think this is sort of a very selfishly a bit of a peaceful, recentering, live stream for me. I hope it is for at least some of you guys, but it's hard to tell. I mean, I can't imagine you're coming to me to learn painting techniques, so assume it's, maybe just for the camaraderie, because I've got awesome people in this chat. There we go. That really, really, really stands out. It's okay. The red will come way, way down with the wash. Wow, all that metal. There's so much metal. I need to find a picture of Strachan. Start mimicking it immediately. I don't think that anyone's ever done. Oh, I'm done frequently. I was almost done with Strachan. And then Paul reminded me I'm not, in fact, done with Strachan. It's okay. Sorry, I'm just going to pull up an image of Strachan so I know what I'm doing, because right now I'm just sort of making it up as I go along, and while that's all well and good and funny sometimes, it's not always the greatest plan in the world. View image. There we go. Get a nice high quality image off the GW website. It's handy. Alright. Oh yeah, let's paint that skull. That looks fun. Let's do that. Forever Spring, hello and welcome. I'm just hanging out, chilling, maybe painting if you're up for that. What is everyone excited for within the realm of tabletop wargaming for the rest of the year? Well, last week they did kind of announce in the Privateer keynote that the IK RPG was going to be coming back, and that they were correcting the timeline where the Infernals don't actually destroy all of humanity and all of Kane, so I'm mostly excited about that. In fact, I have been giddy about that pretty nonstop, actually. So it has also motivated me to work on my other projects more, hopefully get a move on with it. It's not just me working on it, though, so we'll get there. Oh, man, we'll get there. So literally that is the most exciting thing for me. And then, new edition of 40K, I expected it, so there's nothing really surprising there. And what else, really? I don't know. That's primarily it. Get a nice dry brush over this scully man. What kind of animal is that? I mean, it looks like just a regular alligator, but it's 40K, so what's a 40K alligator, guys? And this is legitimately just a dry brush, so, my treatment of it is appropriate, even though it doesn't look like you should ever treat a brush this way. Okay, there we go. So now he actually has a skull on his face, or on his body, instead of just this weird brown object. Ta-da! It's always relaxing to join Wargamer Girl on paint night. I look forward to it mostly because it's the only time I actually get to do any hobbying, so it's selfish for me too. Aw, yay! Girlfriend's roommate just asked me if I eat kielbasa. I'm hoping she's planning to cook something tasty and isn't setting me up for an impolite joke. Oh dear. I mean, one way or the other, you'll be surprised. Let's see, doing okay. I just need to get checks bases done now. Miranda, I got lucky. I got 3 bruises. 3 brews from the old Lehman Russ. Those are blades. I'm surprised I haven't tried to sell those separate yet. Man, no kidding. I'm excited for 40K 9th edition and seeing if I'm sticking with 8th because I don't like complicated. And Necromunda's new gaming books. Okay. I only just started playing War Machine. 15 years ago I had a taste of Necromunda, but it was too expensive for teenager me. Fair enough. I wonder if that's still the case now. It seems like Seems like GW almost has a good deal if you get the box sets that go super fast, because like the amount of miniatures, you still spend some good money on it, but you get a lot for it. That said, I did not get the Indomitus box set. I was not going to have that fight. Like, it's actually a really intimidating part of just dealing with a lot of the 40k GW stuff in general, is how much you have to kind of fight to even get a hold of models sometimes. So let's see. I'm so stoked for WizKid's new dungeon tile system that just dropped. Oh, exciting. Do you guys still have this M Plaza seats? We do, in the garage. If you want them, anytime, man. All yours. Let's see. Nerfed to make canon again. 40k alligator equals sump croc. Really? Aren't alligators in 40k called crocodilids? I don't know. Now I have to look it up. 40k. Google. It does not like my... Oh. Crocodilids. No. Nope, didn't like that one. 40k. Sump. Croc. Interesting idea. Sump Croc. S-U-M-P-C-R-O-C. And they have Goliath Sump Crocs. I guess that's what they are. There you go. Well, that's what he's got on his hip. He doesn't even care. Took that thing on with his bare hands. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Are you asking me? Chose Kador because of Wargamer Girl, obviously. Started painting, enjoying it. I'm excited for new models and warmer hordes, and very excited for COVID-19 to go away. Less polite than that, actually. Yes, I think we are all in agreement there, Rory. 100%. Looks like Wikipedia has a lot on their plate to edit and re-edit. Strachan looking great. He's looking okay. He looks human, I guess. I'm excited to see what the IKRPG D&D Kickstarter will bring. Some new minis, terrain, themed dice. Yeah, me too. Now you make me want to go look it up. I did. Miranda, are you... touch of yellow to your white. Are you dry brush the skull? Well, no, but that's because I'm going to put a wash over it anyway, and since he's going to get Catachan Sweat, what is it, Seraphim Sepia, it's going to already kind of yellow it, so I think I'm okay. And then I'll bring it back up a little bit, too. When will GW make a Star Wars game? Doesn't Fantasy Flight own that IP right now for gaming? Star Wars is sissy stuff compared to 40k. Oh, and licensing. Wow. Wow. Let's see, I have a truck, just need hulking thugs to come help me pick them up. I mean, I can provide me and one other. And you're pretty strong, man. But yeah, anytime you want. Pretty sure we can get them out. My garage is really full. There's a set in there right now. It's a little intimidating, but it's okay. It's totally worth it. It's so worth it. Anyway, I'm being distracted again. Had to touch up his booty there. Just, got a little bit of the bleached sand color from the skull. Hey, you just got home. Hope I didn't miss much. Hey, Jeremy, welcome. You've just been sitting and chatting, and honestly, I've been poking around through a couple of different minis. I'm just working on Strachan a bit now, and yapping and talking about nonsense mostly. It's been great. Let's see. Get my spice, or I put a bounty on your head so high you won't be able to step foot in any starport. Wow, there's some grief happening in here. My goodness. New question. For washing strong colors, brights and reds and greens, how do you go about this without creating stains? Selective washing, no points. No point, any tips most appreciated. Washing strong colors like reds and greens. So, are you talking about using, like making a wash add like a red wash specifically or a green wash? Because, I mean, and I think the chat probably will know more on that, but the nice thing is, since a wash is generally has so much water compared to the actual pigment, you should be able to kind of put it where you want and then just use clean water to wipe it out of areas you don't want it to avoid that stained look. That's my thought, if I'm actually answering your question. Star Wars. Can't believe there's talk they're gonna erase the sequel trilogy. Really? I doubt it. Jason folks, I want COVID to go away. I'm missing game time at my local store. I know, man. I know. And it's not like the digital options have been very satisfying in that. Like, Paul and I played one awkward game of Kill Team on a tabletop simulator. And you know what? That program really tries. Full credit to it. But it's so hard to... Like, you spend so much time thinking about how you can actually maneuver it in space that it's not as relaxed as just chatting about, you know, and moving pieces around. So it's harder. Yeah, Kador is a lot of labor, but they're really cool to build. Love it a lot more than 40K. Well, War Machine has some incredible models, and, you know, GW doesn't fool around either. Again, I think their Night Haunts and the AOS models are spectacular, and they've also got things like tanks, which are really, really, really exciting. So I'm thinking more of that should be coming to Warmahordes in the future, which would be really cool. I'd love to see some more like mechanized combat, because it's really should be a game about robots, in my opinion. And so we'll see. But yeah, like some of their Gator models. What was it? Lord Barnabas, that one of his newest models. Phenomenal model. So yeah, like, and then of course, you know, my Warhorse and my Clockatrice, you know, all these other amazing fun models. I need to get some metal color on. Let's see, same here. We finally had a new game store open up here, and bam, time to limit and close down again. Ugh. Hopefully they survive. Don't use Seraphim Sepia. Use Rickland Flesh Shade. It gives you a much darker tan than you would have if you lived on a jungle world. Look, Jeremy, I have 3 washes, okay? It needs to fall into the category of Seraphim Sepia, Agrax Earth Shade, or Null Oil. I'm not getting another wash. And so, he's getting Seraphim Sepia. It's fine. I think it worked great on Vasquez. And, you know, I also don't know what color you're talking about. I don't own it, and it will be difficult to own it, so there. Hope you're doing okay. Were you working late again, or? Because you're up in the northeast, so, or I'm sorry, the northwest. So, hope you and dear Laura are staying safe. Ink, not wash. Let me see here. Aim your washes into the recesses, otherwise slash it over the area and then rebase coat after it dries. Oh, okay. I find when I wash a strong color, I get stains. Feel that I'm doing it badly. You can use watered down paints as washes. It's a lot better if you use inks instead. Less hassle and more fun. Would you water down an ink or just straight wash to go in the recesses? I have blue/purple and red inks. Not really used to them. Yeah. I love the proliferation of miniature design these days between GW, Privateer Press, and Corvus Belli. So much higher quality stuff these days than when I was growing up. Oh yeah, I know. I've got some older models. I have the Lady Space Marines that someone sent me. Ooh, there's some rough looking models, man. So yeah, it's really come along. I mean, in addition to just a lot of creative design from individuals, I assume at least part of it is because of the digital medium and things like being able to model in ZBrush and what's the other one? There's a couple of them anyway for creating a model. Knucklehead, welcome to the chat. How you doing? I use Lamian medium, not water. I'm really tempted to gather my gaming group and play 40k in hazmat suits. Well, I don't know. What does a hazmat suit go for on eBay these days? The big 3 of shades. If you add a touch of dish detergent and break the water tension, or if you have some flow improver, it would help so that you can make your own wash. You will get Drucci Violet wash soon. Oh yes, very soon. I don't know. Violet sounds an awful lot like purple. I'm back. Things Miranda was replying to are not in my feed. Refreshed. Ah, there we go. Send me your address and I'll mail you some flesh shade for Jiminy's sakes. Oh, no, Jeremy, I'll paint my model how I want. I hope that helped, Rory. Oh my goodness, so much chatting at the moment. There we go. What's up, everyone? Have a nice day. Hope you do too. I saw that Jeremy is super excited to get my ISA and kicking your butt. How far are you two away from each other again? Because it's a bit of a drive to get where you're wanting to go, right? That's right. Strachan actually has, like, camo patterns. I don't think I'm going to do that. Let's get some browns on. I know that color. Yes, you can water down ink washes, but you have to be careful not to thin them too much. Otherwise, they will become a tint instead. Wow, there's so many phrases for all of these. Tint, wash, ink, glaze. Ho-hum. So his belt needs to actually be brassy gold, because he is still a hero of the Imperium and a commander, and commanders wear gold. We all know this. What is it? It is the way. And what else? Skull and the hilt of his sword. I know I'll be dry brushing that up with a nice bleached sand color. Now I don't use straight white either. I mean, I think the white I have is a bit of an off-white. I don't think the camera's necessarily picking that up. So we'll see. Well, he's making some progress. Just for the relaxation. Got 40 minutes. I can probably make some decent progress on him in that time. He doesn't look like a model that will take me 3 hours to finish. Oh my gosh. It's so intense. Oh, there's another red bandana around his leg. He really likes these bandanas. I think he just collects them. I'm an instructor and stuck teaching virtually, which means I'm missing out on so much free food due to that rule. Virtual makes you hungry. Sorry. Yes, I did. Okay. Just FYI, it's Thursday morning, 10:15 a.m. in Borneo. Normally I miss everything because the Europe/East Coast US means sleep time for me. Peyton chat starts just after my morning coffee. Oh, well, there you go. That's nice. Ah. Free food is a mega loss. Costs more than you think. True enough. The place I need to put the magnets on my shield so it attaches to my back plate gives the backslide of the shield look like it has a really perturbed expression with the arm straps. Huh. Has anyone played a game of 40k drunk? I've never been drunk, so no. Not me, anyway. Speaking of being an instructor, I start classes again on August 3rd, so I'll be AWOL actually. How are we? for some weeks after that. Well, I appreciate you, the time you put in for hanging out anyway. Still nice. Absolutely. 40K drunk is actually how we staff often played tournaments. Stories there. Oh my. We'll send you the cash over iFly. I'll send it to you UPS. Or do you like FedEx? Oh my goodness. More red. Actually need more red on there. Hey, that's red. And then I also need to figure out exactly what I need to do on his pants. If I need to attempt to do that camo look or not. I was not very tidy about that. That red got just poured on. It's okay, we're it's fine. It's what you only use such a tiny amount of paint. Oh, Miranda, Kitty, and I got the house. Ah, congratulations, Patrick. That's awesome, man. Is this your first house that you're owning? How exciting. Just remember, no matter how new a house is, something always breaks in the first year. Like clockwork, like the most reliable rule about owning a house. If you just bought it, then the first year something will break. So just, try to be generically prepared or get a home warranty or something. But that's super awesome. Congratulations. A little bit of land, let the kids run wild and free, kick them out when they piss you off. It's the life, man. But let's see, he's got strapping. Oof, the model's a little rough under here. I'm kind of having to imagine where this, the underside of this bandana goes. It works. And the back side of the actual bandana over here. This guy has more details than I thought. Let's see here. Did anyone try for the 9th edition 40K box set and missed out, or secure a copy? I saw Paul, fingers crossed, get it. I was lucky to get one. My friend Flo is able to reserve one. She'll have to be able to pick it up from the game store, and they're only holding it for like 2 hours, but I think she should be good. I need to get myself a Strachan and Harker. I've wanted them for a long time. Oh yeah? This is our first house. We're super excited. I love it. That's so good. I'm really glad for you guys. I got mine mailing to the store. It was 8 to 10 minutes late in the US. He's right about stuff breaking. Yeah. We had 3 things break in the first week. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I bought my house here, the stove and microwave went out instantly, and whatever, but you never know what it's gonna be. I'm trying to steal Jeremy and chain him into the crawl space. Jeez. Yeah, that happened to me just a few minutes ago. Like, chat was running live in Miranda's last week's video. It must be the warp. Picked up a copy through my local game store. All right, well, it sounds like a fair number of people have had good luck with it. Now, the other thing is they are going to be doing those made-to-order copies, so that should make stuff a bit easier, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Because all the scalpers got undercut. I mean, not as undercut as they could have been, just because it's going to be, December to fulfill those orders. But that's still better than having to pay. Gosh, I don't even know what the prices we're getting to on those. It was high, though. I own a gaming store in the UK and I managed to secure 45 copies of Indomitus. GW even sent me 2 free demo boxes. Hey, congratulations. Thinking about picking up Necromunda Dark Uprising set for my birthday this year. Or Necromunda. Oh, I'm glad you like it. I've literally never played it ever. I got my copy for the LGS in El Paso, who's mailing it to me in Washington, but not the LGS I worked at in El Paso. Joe Cordova, welcome. Yeah, we got about 30 minutes left on the chat here. The old oven at our house broke while I was there for an inspection. They then replaced it with a very cheap model. Yeah, and that's the other thing, like, I just replaced it with what I wanted, which was a nice option to have, instead of, you know, you can ask for stuff in inspections, but they're always going to spend the bare minimum they need to. Alright. So, I'm just going to say it right now. Even though he lives in the jungle, Strachan still understands the value of brushing his teeth. Because that boy's going to have some clean pearlies. That's what's happening. Yeah, it's coming along. It's not bad. South of England on the Isle of Wight. Oh dear. Oh. Does anyone think Michael Keaton returning as Batman a good thing? I mean, he was the best Batman. Now, whether or not he still is 30-ish years later, I don't know. But I really like Michael Keaton, so. 40K drunk. There were some guys at a convention doing it on YouTube. Every time you finish the beer, he would put a can down as locking drain. Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, I've been to plenty of conventions. I know tons of people play in tournaments, any of the war games, super drunk. So, sort of comes with the territory. Hey, J. Alex. We're just legitimate. We're just hanging out and chatting, and I mean, we've talked about everything from the weather to paintbrushes to inks and washes and just life in general, so you're all good. Never played Necromunda. Heresy, I highly suggest it. But it's also my first GW obsession, so I may be biased. I don't know, man, just because it's like a bunch of gangs, right? And it's in this sort of urban setting, and you're just running around mostly hive cities, right? I don't know that it has any of the majesty I look for in my games. Yes, it's true. It has been all Catachan. Hey everyone, hope your apocalypse is going well. Hello, Chris. Welcome. Yes, I do agree about, yes, Keaton as Batman. Ender, welcome. Miranda, what brand of power tools do you own? Pretty sure I've got like, so I have zero bias or zero, yeah, like loyalty to any brands. And so if I can get a hold of something for really cheap, I will. So I know I've got a ton of tools from like Harbor Freight. I've got some Black & Decker and like Craftsman. I don't think I own a single DeWalt, even though those would be lovely. But I do have to do some more shopping because I want to own a table saw. But I need to have room in my garage, and there's currently a set sitting in there, so that's a little complicated. I won't mention the number of tools that have made it inside my house. But yeah, it's just whatever works. I don't care, really. I need it for the job that I need it for. And I don't know that I'm using it so intensely that I have to have like a particularly high quality one to survive the job, as it were. Necromunda urban, understatement. I'm like, yes, I get it. It's like in a hive city, right? I would say Kevin Conroy was the best Batman, but David Mazouz was the best Bruce Wayne. Kevin Conroy and David Mazouz. What are you talking about? talking about voice actors, then that's different. But this isn't animated. It's not hard to like Michael Keaton. He's such an underrated actor. I liked him in Beetlejuice. I freaking love him in The Other Guys. Like, in The Other Guys, he is just unreal hilarious. Hilarious. Ah. So, he just does a great job. Alright. He has pulled skin. So, I kind of made way too clean a separation between the metal half of him and the human half of him. Sorry, I have to hide all of the things that this camera can focus on so it can actually look at the model. Ta-da! There we go. And so I need to, there's actually parts where his skin is pulled over. So I'm going to attempt to do that and make that work. It'll be fine. Never played Necromunda, but used to play Mordheim back in the day. I've played Mordheim on Steam, and that's pretty cool. Oh, Ender, we're doing alright. Just hanging out, chatting about some movies. It's old movies, right? It's all I've been watching. I had the whole Gene Wilder kick the other day, and I totally ended up really discovering him after he passed away, unfortunately, but what a delightful actor. And, so we watched some of his movies, and then also, just old movies in general. So I watched like the first Hellraiser for the first time the other day, and that was interesting. I don't think it was like necessarily a great movie in the story side of it, but the effects were fantastic. And, you know, it was also, was it John Carpenter's first movie? So, go him, I guess. That's some bragging rights. Alright, he just has 2. Oh my gosh, he has rivets through his skin. Looks super uncomfortable. I just watched Diana and Divine Meet the Apocalypse on Amazon. Nice. Does anyone here think, and Jeremy, played indie tabletop skirmish games like model agnostic board games? What are your favorites? I don't know. Why is there a set in your garage? Because I filmed a TV show a year and a half ago, and I'm still editing it. It's a lot of work. I'm not done with it, but, you know, the set was completely built, and so it's going to live there until I find a new home for it. Alright, almost through the skin part. Oof. It's intimidating. So is half of that also supposed to be metal? Oh my, he's got some strange stuff going on with his head. But I thought, no, that's legitimately just a necklace. So I guess the mechanical arm actually goes all the way up to his head, up past his neck. It was more than I expected. You mean Ben Affleck is everyone's favorite Batman? I had gotten desperate and needed to go out for a food run, but listening AFK as I play Freezer Tetris. There are worse problems to have. Zone Raiders. Oh, yeah. So the indie tabletop games, I can't say I have. Just time is never on my side on that stuff. Luke Skywalker is still the best. Joker. Kevin Conroy did live action, old Bruce Wayne in the Arrowverse. Oh, I never saw any of those shows, so forgot about that. I think Strachan looks good. Just do a wash over both the flesh and metal, and that'll bring it back together. Thank you. We'll get there. Keen plays a good bipolar character to a T. Solo games are so hot right now. I know. So much. Mordheim and I didn't get along, especially the dwarves. Yeah, I was hoping I'd do better with like the Sisters of Sigmar, but don't know Not that they were really my jam. Random question. If Beetlejuice was a demon of chaos, which chaos god would he serve? Well, the immediate answer almost seems like it would be Nurgle, because he's that way. I could see him being Nurgle or maybe kind of Zinchi, but I think I'd stick with Nurgle. Other solo games I've loved making characters from are 5 Parses from Home and Star Breach Hunters. My goodness. Wes Craven. What do I think? John Carpenter. Wes Craven. Thank you. My goodness. Yeah, so his first movie was Hellraiser 1. Then I watched Hellraiser 2, which I think was better. But, I mean, they really, really relied on their effects. I can't decide between choosing Ossiarch Bone Reapers or the Seraphim for my first Sigmar army. Please help. Seraphim all the way. Lizard people are the best. Completely biased opinion, but you know, if you want to do that, I think lizard people are so fun. Clive Barker did Hellraiser. Oh my gosh, we're all messed up here. You're right, it is Clive Barker. John Carpenter did The Thing, and Wes Craven did other stuff. All my movie knowledge is getting all jumbled. I blame the heat. Beetlejuice would be a worshiper of Slanesh. Excessiveness of awesome. Really? Doomscythe, the built. Doomscythe built! Hey! Congratulations! Now back to the Goliath gangers. Oh my god, though. Hellraiser, there's such potential with that series that didn't get treated very well by the film franchise. Oh, many, many film franchises fall into that, not the least of which being like The Crow, for the same reasons. I would totally rehome your Iron Kingdom set. Having King Leto and Queen Vannar on my wall would be the best. Man, I'm gonna have to update that set, because King Leto ain't the king no more. Clive Barker, I meant to say Clive Barker. First edition Necromunda and the miniatures are still on the sprue. Wow. I love my Goliath. I even have 2 Swamp Crocs. Hellraiser is a very good franchise to movie making genius. Oh man, that story was so thin. Like amazing effects, really amazing creatures, but what the heck do you know about the characters? Like nothing at all about them. They just do stuff. And then they're victimized by these really impressive looking monsters. That's about it for the first movie. And, you know, for the time, I imagine it was extremely inspired. It's funny because every time I've been watching these movies, I'll look them up online and, you know, what was the budget and what was the box office? And then you see, like, maybe some commentary, little tidbits of information. And apparently, the first Hellraiser, Roger Ebert had said it was a quote-unquote bankruptcy of imagination. Which, no matter what your critique of Hellraiser is, it certainly did not lack imagination. It's a stunning thing to see said. Like, what an arrogant statement, you know? So, did not appreciate it. Hellraiser may not be a great movie, but it's certainly not a bad one, and it's certainly an inspired one. So, digressing. I think Beetlejuice would be Zinch because of the body morphing. Yeah, but all of them do body morphing. Like, they're all gifts of chaos, are they not? I'd say Beetlejuice is Zinch. Yeah, and so I could go back and forth on that. I could see that. Changer of ways. But he's also, I don't know, like the company he keeps and, you know, I think he gets kind of gross. Might not be quite as gross as what Nurgle normally does, but he's like, it's like the kitty version of a Nurgle worshiper, maybe. Or Nurgle, that's definitely, he was definitely nasty and happy, right? I have to trust you on the Hellraiser recommendation. I never did see it. I didn't see it until legitimately the other day. Hey, Ruben, welcome. John Carpenter's first movie was Dark Star. Delightful fun. I have not seen that one. I'll have to get back to it. There's so many old movies that I find myself, you know, watching now because I can. There's only ever one Crow movie. No one can convince me otherwise. Yeah. And the first one is an amazing movie. What'll it take to part those screws from you? I need Goliath juvies. Wow. This is Demon Rubik's Cube that did it. Yes, the Demon Rubik's Cube, which I guess a lot of those movies at that time, sort of the horror genre of the era, had some sort of item like that, like a totem of sorts. Roger Ebert had terrible taste. I swear he runs Rotten Tomatoes from the grave, I think. Always trust the opposite. Oh yeah, I know. How's the miniature painting going? Finally got kiddos snoozing, so I figured I'd stop and see what's up. So Chronic Toast here has recently become a dad, so congratulations again, Ribbon, but welcome. And yeah, we're just hanging out and painting and chatting for 20 more minutes and grounding ourselves and trying to stay sane in this chaotic world. Hello from the other side of the house. And yeah, I didn't notice because I was crying after cutting my thumb. Ow! I like Nurgle in the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. There you go. I might have a doze I'll be willing to part with. Wow. Did you ever see the handmade effects pieces for the Thing remake? They trashed them after the shifted to CGI instead. Those original creature effects are the best I've ever seen. Apparently the international market does not like creature effects. I don't know how exactly true that is, but apparently CG is considered the safer bet, which hurts my heart because I couldn't disagree more. Even in Rise of Skywalker? Is that the last one? The Star Wars where Rey, for some reason, heals a snake critter. Like, they had a whole armature, a working, really impressive looking live creature for the actors to interact with. And then they just replaced it all with CG, which I don't think looked as good. But, I don't know. It's one of those things, and that just comes down to taste, I would say. Sanity is important. Miniature hobbying helps. I've found myself turning to it more and more. Check out The Car, in the late 70s TV horror movie on Netflix. The Car. Alright. Congrats on becoming a dad. It gets better after 3 months. Yep, the Thing remake could have been way better. Well, and it already had promise because it was going to be like a prequel to it, and so they could have maybe answered some questions without just kind of doing a blow-by-blow remake. I didn't get the purpose of that. That seemed like an odd choice, but and kind of a wasted talent for Mary Elizabeth Winstead because I think she's quite a good actress, and I just don't really get that impression. Let's see. I'm gonna go with a smaller brush for that. Thanks all. Anybody got spare time or sleeps? Hashtag send Pop-Tarts. Oh my gosh, that's right. Pop-Tarts. Well, still, congratulations to you both. Well, I guess all three of you. Congratulations on the kiddo for being born. Heck of a timing. But whatever. It only goes up from here for her, so. Rima. Interesting. Kind of have this skin and metal sort of in between. I think I like that. Yeah, that's a little better. And we're gonna have to add rivets, which I guess I can do. I've got the metal now, so might as well. Oh, so careful. Just a little dollop. Alright. Yay. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was wasted in Birds of Prey too. Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started on that movie. Let's see here. Yeah, CGI always suffers from the uncanny valley effect. Practical effects never suffer from that. Well, so you can have some issues with like guy in a suit problem, where it looks super obvious, and you have to be careful with that. But it seems like there's a lot more experience in Hollywood getting around those issues, and part of how you do that is by obscuring the monster or whatever it is, and the obscuring of it makes it scarier. So overall, I think it encourages a more interesting type of storytelling. Whereas with CGI, I think it's so tempting to just have so many like money shots of that monster and having it doing ridiculous things. I think it really, really ruined the Dark Crystal series, and I know a lot of people liked it. I thought it was boring, and I really didn't want to think that too. Like, so I was looking forward to it. I love the Dark Crystal and the really interesting world, but all of the CG and like ninja Skeksis and so many Skeksis, the amount of political intrigue Skeksis I couldn't tolerate after a while. And so it's like, it desensitizes you in a way to it. The Car with James Brolin? Saw that in theater when it came out. The Car. Huh. Cool, being a daddy is fun. I'm out of nappy/diaper times now. Roman, my son, just started painting some Grimkin models. Living the dream, people. Aw, that's exciting. And Grimkin are super fun to paint. Can't wait to see the Dune movie, but I'm worried how it'll turn out. Yeah, it's not like it's got the best history for that. Miniature reminds me of Starship Troopers. Rico, you know what to do. That's awesome. Thank you. Laura just built her first model today. She saw Pikachu model at Hobby Lobby yesterday, and I told her she had to build one before she could buy one. So we built an easy to build Terminator. That's adorable. I like the Birds of Prey movie. I cannot wait for Justice League Snyder Cut. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be different, maybe. Maybe. After watching Justice League, I'm really not sure what you can do to fix the problems. They seem a little more fundamental to me, but I'll give it a go. Let's see, yeah, the directors like Terry Gilliam and Guillermo del Toro still love practical effects or using CGI more. Practical effects purists are rarer and rarer. They're all hitting the indie scene where they can, anyway. It's not hard to find videos online that teach you about how to do that. And you see that with like Halloween shops and stuff too. Is that his nipple? Huh. Okay. Distracted. Yeah, so practical effects. I don't know. I think movies are just, they want to just sort of bang them out, get them into international markets. So many of them go direct to TV, direct to video, direct to streaming now. So, and you can just mill out the work for CG, whereas you need to find sort of a specialist to do practical effects and be nearby, whereas something like a CG model you can hire out of another country and not have to care. So I'm sure there's certain practical elements in addition to just taste. Jurassic Park and Starship Troopers use stop motion animation converted to digital, which is why it holds up. Crazy awesome. I know, I actually watched Jurassic Park not that long ago, and it really does hold up, but they also know the value of subtlety and not showing everything all the time. And Stan Winston recently had a sort of a reunion with all of the special effects people on Jurassic Park, on all of the movies, in fact, of the Jurassic Park series, and talked about the making of and what went into making the Tyrannosaurus and the amount of clay that they used and how the animatronics worked. It was fantastic. Super interesting. It's like, I don't know, 3-hour stream or something you watch. Let's see here. Then we built a bandy pedic guy. That said, Dark Crystal, everything with Jim Henson is so good. Yeah. It only takes 1 week for a third a cup of water to evaporate indoors and leave behind nothing but paint slime. Ask me how I know. Oh, I know. A week, yeah. Yeah, Dune has potential. The Fountain movie looks pretty faithful, though. Hope Hollywood has a backlog of Arnie Rubberheads after Terminator Total Recall. They were great. Oh. The Foundation is what really excites me, but I don't have Apple TV. I don't know, you guys are talking The Foundation. Which author is that? I think it's writer's block, which kills the movie, even with the best franchises out there. You say that, but a lot of those movies legitimately go through 20 plus professional writers. So I don't think it's that so much. I think just there's a big disconnect with kind of what makes an interesting story, and you get too many cooks, as you will, that many writers to go through. You end up with a compromise, and that compromise ends up in the big valley of meh for movies. So take care with his nipple. I know, I was sort of stunned by it. It really stands out. Don't report me, but this nipple, I mean, on the picture it really stands out too. I wasn't going to think much of it on the model, but there I am, staring at this freaking nipple. Anyway, you have that same look that reminds me of how I must look studying my models and trying to figure out where I'm brave enough to put paint next. It's totally what happens. I even suggested to one of my students in my classes, and he outread me, finished all 5 books while I only finished the first. Goodness. It's like Ray Harryhausen in that Skeleton Flight and Jason and the Argonauts. He got half a second done a whole day, but I loved it. Oh yeah. Yeah, those are really amazing. Related to practical effects, pouring one out. R.I.P. Grant Imahara. Yeah, that was kind of surprising. That does suck. He seemed like a cool guy. So, moment of silence for him. Maybe he just knew something we didn't about what's happening in 2020. 7 books now, if you include the ones finished posthumously. Good stuff. Wow. Still confused why Ubik has never been made. Philip K. Dick wrote a screenplay for it back in the 70s. I'm sure it's somebody owns the rights somewhere, is usually what happens there. Do you think we'll see a rise in animated films nowadays being made? I think we'll see a rise in deep fake films being made, like deceased actors now being in movies again. Like, I think they're gonna experiment with that, and it makes me very uncomfortable. But that's more what I see. Like, animated films already are sort of having, like, they're pretty stable and steady, but I don't know that they necessarily appeal to everybody, so I don't think you're gonna see like a much bigger rise in animated films, even with all of the isolation. Let's see. Time for me to dive back into that series. So good. It makes me want to be a psycho-historian so bad. I remember hearing that T-Rex on the first Jurassic Park often bugged out and ran when it wasn't supposed to. The broken plexiglass when it attacks the kids was a legit accident. Their fear was real. Yeah, it had some twitchy moments. So what would happen is the latex that covered it, and it was a foam covering over the Tyrannosaurus. Well, the people the creature effects, the studio, Stan Winston's studio, had been told that the Tyrannosaurus was never supposed to get wet. And then, like, first day on the set, it's with the Explorer after he gets out of the pen and the rain is just pouring on it. And that was causing, it wasn't necessarily causing, like, a short, the way you'd think if the electronics got wet. The problem is the model, the rig was designed to compensate for its weight, And so the latex was, and the foam latex was absorbing all of this water as they poured it on the T-Rex during filming. And because it was changing the weight so dramatically, the guy who was running it was constantly like changing. He made like his own circuit board to kind of deal with controlling this super complex creature. And so he's constantly compensating on it because the T-Rex would jitter otherwise if the weight proportion was off. And so it was just an incredibly stressful shoot for him trying to operate the Tyrannosaurus while also compensating for the water, because it was gaining hundreds of pounds essentially over the course of filming. And then when they'd stop, they'd have to basically like wait and dry it out before they could go back and try again. It was an insane amount of work. And it did cause not just the plexiglass incident, but even when it bumps the, I think it's an Explorer, the car to tip on its side, like that actually happened and dented the vehicle, which they didn't intend for it to do. But, well, I think the people operating it kind of intended to do it, but it was a crazy shot, and it's the one they used. Oh, Isaac Asimov. Yeah, that's a whole series of stuff I need to read. There are too many books. Yes, you're right. Business is getting cheap on productions with CGI instead of using the old school methods of realism, sometimes especially when rushed on deadlines. Well, there's a lot of reasons for it, but Face Off was a great show for practical effects and makeup. Face Off with, like, John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. Face Off made us watch network TV. It was good. Hey, Torrent Wolf. We're about to end here, but I appreciate you popping in. Jeremy, I give all movies a chance. I have some fantasy art I created as an homage to that skeleton fight in the Jason and the Argonauts. Really? That's awesome. We need another heavy metal movie, or at least a show like Love, Death, Robots that follows heavy metal comics. Nice. I just started reading Fulgrim, the Palatine Phoenix by Josh Reynolds. Fulgrim is what I call a likable narcissist. Like Tony Stark. I guess would be the most popular of them, would be my thought. I don't know. I'm gonna get a little bit of metal on his eyes, and then we're gonna call it here. Because now I'm just talking about movies, and I'll just do that endlessly. Face Off was an okay movie as a whole. I was pretty young when I watched it, so I don't remember. Not remember much about it. There we go. Almost there, guys. Some progress. You guys probably made more progress. Teehee. There. He now has a face. And I'll get some green or something in the eye. Maybe red. Or maybe purple, because this did come from Paul, so yeah, he's gonna get a purple lens in there. That's just what's gonna happen. Into the horror movie Wishmasters, a flurry of practical effects. Wow. Gotta get some sleep. See ya, Jason. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. I think we're gonna call it here tonight, guys. But thanks so much for hanging out, though. This has been exciting and fun, and more importantly, relaxing and chill, which I guess was the goal, right? So Stragon has a few more colors on, and Vasquez is pretty well done. Making some progress on models. Like, some of them are actually getting finished. It's pretty exciting. Not Face Off the movie with Nick Cage or John Travolta, but Face Off the show on Sci-Fi Channel that has makeup artists practicing their art. It was really good at first. Yeah, I just feel like I'm highlighting how little TV I watch. It's just movies for me. TV's hard to justify, and then I don't have cable or any of that stuff, so Heavy metal is the epitome of 40K. Yeah, I remember that. Apparently, practical effects that were thrown out in the Thing remake were reused for Harbinger Down, a fan film homage to both the to Thing and Aliens. Looks great. We'll need to check it out. Huh, interesting. All right, well, have a good night, guys. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Remember, chill, relax, stay sane, stay cool if you're not burning up, except for Eulurian, who's experiencing winter. Stay warm. We'll talk to you guys later.